Would you believe me if I told you that our future generations are dying? Sounds ridiculous? What if I tell you it's happening right now? While we were sitting comfortably in our classroom, thousands of children are working tirelessly, struggling to help their parents to fulfill their daily needs. Most of the times, they don't have the luxury to choose where they can work, thus exposing themselves to the danger of unsafe working conditions in environments such as tobacco plantations. In Indonesia, more than 800,000 children are in the work field instead of a classroom. So the question that remains is, are children not allowed to work at all? The answer is, they can, with limitations. According to UU Nomor 13 Tahun 2003 and UN Convention on Child Rights, someone is considered a child when they are under 18 years old, and children aged 13 to 15 are permitted to do a light amount of work, as long as it's not threatening their physical, mental, and social health with a maximum of 3 hours of work per day. Only those who are above 18 years old are allowed to do hazardous work, and that includes working in tobacco plantations. Among 800,000 child workers in Indonesia, more than 500,000 of them work in the agricultural sector, where they're exposed to pesticides and high heat. Even worse, child workers in tobacco plantations are prone to nicotine poisoning from the direct contact with the tobacco plants. Child worker issues are the result of a major vicious cycle called poverty. The insufficiency to fulfill basic daily needs such as foods, utilities, clothing, force parents to bring their children into tobacco plantations to help them work so they can harvest more and gain higher wages. Majority of the child workers' parents do not understand the importance of educations in changing their future, and the rest simply do not have another option. As a result, their children cannot pursue educations, and they're not equipped with the necessary skills for the better job, hence allowing the poverty cycle to hinder progress in their economic future. In addition to that, the weak enforcement of the government policy related to employment and educations are also contributing factors. Governments have not applied heavy consequences for companies that are employing child workers and have not been very assertive in campaigning child worker issues. This is why it is very important for us students and citizens to continue to spread awareness for underage child workers. The vicious cycle of poverty has a big impact on many aspects of a child's life, especially their childhood. Children who entangle themselves in hazardous work would have to spend their time working in an unsafe environment, exposing them to nicotine poisoning with symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, stomach ache, dehydration, headache, and several other long-term health problems. This becomes an international relations issue because it violates basic human rights that were acknowledged in the UDHR by United Nations. The issue also revolves along a complex global logistics supply chain, seeing that Indonesia's tobacco products are wanted in numerous other countries. Though Indonesia have conducted efforts to eradicate child labor such as ratifying the UN and ILO Convention on the abolishment of child labor, little progress has been made. The government has not introduced any policy to support these children and their families, even though they have established institutions such as KPAI to oversee the situation and increase taxes to decrease the demand of tobacco products domestically. Still, there is no denying that the coordination between the stakeholders involved such as MNCs, governments, and NGOs could be improved in order to achieve the goal much sooner. Children are the future of our world, be it child workers or high school students. They are capable of making a difference in our country. Therefore, we would like to encourage you to be more conscious of the products you're using, whether it is produced through the sweat of these child workers or not. We would also like to invite you to take just an hour out of your time to share your knowledge and raise awareness towards the importance of educations, towards those who are less privileged, so that they can get out of the cycle of poverty.
Speak out. You have the ability
to become the voice of the voiceless.
Together,
we can end the vicious cycle of poverty,
emphasize the importance of education,
and help our brothers and sisters
who are less privileged than we are.
Together,
we can contribute to the eradication of child labor.
Together,
we can make a change.
Our future is dying. Now we want you to ask yourself, what can you do to keep our future alive?